Karen has once again become a Category 4 storm with winds of 140 miles an hour in the Atlantic. On Wall Street, a mixed day as the Dow was down by 34 points, the Nasdaq rose 6, the S&P 500 down a fraction. More at townhall.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Wall Street held near its records. The S&P 500 ended flat, coming off its first loss after setting an all-time high 3 consecutive days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average edged down 0.1%, while the Nasdaq Composite inched up less than 0.1%. Later this week will come profit reports from Walmart and other big U.S. retailers. The week's highlight will likely arrive on Friday. That's when the Federal Reserve's chair will give a speech that Wall Street is hoping will hint at cuts to interest rates that might be coming soon. The Dow was down 34 points today to 44,911. The Nasdaq gained 6 to 21,629. The S&P 500 dropped fractionally to 64.49. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com. The Postal
On-Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Partly cloudy this evening, a low temperature tipping to 75. Tomorrow, clouds much of the day to go with a high temperature of 88. For Wednesday and Thursday, our high temperatures hover right around 90 to go with about a 20% to 30% chance we get afternoon storms. Meanwhile, Friday looks like the next sure bet for some heavy rains. I'm Cal Moss with your on-point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make the point.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
Okay, welcome in everybody. Sports Talk Media Network. We begin a brand new week. Only 2 more weeks to go until we get down to serious business. I know there are some football games, some college games this weekend. As far as the state is concerned, it'll be the next week. Seems like it's been forever trying to get to the first Saturday here in South Carolina, but it's right around the corner. The high schools begin this week. Those who aren't SCISA, the public schools begin this week. So we got football all around us, and we are back out on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour tonight. We've come up to beautiful North Greenville University, right in the mountains of South Carolina, above Furman, over to the west of Clemson. I think this is the westernmost point athletically in South Carolina, would be my guess. We're in Tigerville. Okay, seems like Clemson should be in Tigerville, but North Greenville is in Tigerville, home of the Trailblazers. Home of the Trailblazers. For so long, they were the Crusaders, but a few years ago, they changed to the Trailblazers. And they have a new head coach, and you're going to love this guy. I can already tell you. His name is Nate Garner. He's a native of Arkansas. Offensive lineman. He played offensive line for Houston Nutt at Arkansas. He played 8 years in the NFL. Few of those years with the Miami Dolphins, where his position coach was none other than Dave DeGuglielmo. Googe was his position coach. And he was at Limestone for a couple of years. Of course, Limestone no longer has a football team. And so when this opening came about, he interviewed for the job and got the job in January.
Well, Chris, do you hear me?
I got you.
Well,
something happened to Philip, though.
Yeah, it's like it's not even like the internet cut out. It's like it just automatically just shut off.
Yeah, that's disappointing because I was enjoying listening to his story about Nate Garner and the brand new head coach at North Greenville. I was going to ask, how in the world do you get from Arkansas and matriculate? Obviously, his connection over at Limestone, I think, probably made it a little bit easier. But when Jeff Farrington stepped down after 12 years there, you wouldn't think that somebody who played at Arkansas, that would be the spot he'd land to be a head coach at North Greenville. But good for them.
For sure, and they should have a good program this year. I don't know much about North Greenville University, but from what I see, they should do pretty good.
Well, they've got a tough start at Delta State. Always those teams you deal with in Division II, and you start having to deal with teams out in sort of Mississippi, Arkansas, that area. It's not easy, and then they come back home. They've got 3 straight at home, so that's a chance for them to improve. But their schedule is not very easy. It is certainly filled with landmines all the way throughout. So we will try and reconnect with Phil up in North Greenville as quickly as we can. Get him back on the air this evening. In the interim, you can join us at 888. By the way, does Phil know he's not on the air?
Josh, he does not. No,
he's talking.
Yeah, he's still talking to himself. I'm actually going to shoot him a quick call. So I'm going to call him real quick on his cell phone. Let's see if he picks up. So just stand by for just a moment with me.
Because it's fun to watch him. I mean, he looks like he's saying a lot of really important stuff, but no one can hear him but the folks up in North Greenville. So we'll try to get reconnected with them here in just a couple of moments. If you'd like to be a part of the program, you're certainly welcome to join us at 888-898-2525. That's the Sports Talk South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number at 888-898-2525. Of course, you can text us anytime. We'd love to hear from you via the text messaging. If maybe speaking on the air is not your cup of tea, that's certainly fine. You can send us a text message and the bets get read on the air at 803-900-4847. Again, 803-900-4847. So obviously when we get reconnected on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour presented by Discover, PalmettoSportsConnections.com with Phil. Start delving into North Greenville and what is in front of the Trailblazers. They actually do not kick off the season until, believe it or not, September 6th. So as antsy as we are about the Gamecocks, the Chanticleers, the Terriers, the Tigers, whomever, getting started here in the next couple of weeks, imagine waiting until after Labor Day to actually kick off your season, and that's when they'll start over in Cleveland, Mississippi against Delta State. So we'll get coach's take on maybe the extra practice time that North Greenville has coming up here in a little while. It's still fascinating to me. Phil can, if he's paying attention on the stream, he can actually see Josh on the phone, myself talking, and you would think it might dawn on him, there's something wrong if both Chris and myself are talking at the same time. So we will try and get reconnected with Phil here in just a little bit. Coming up on the program as well, in addition to North Greenville and your phone calls, got plenty of recruiting news to pass along. As a matter of fact, I think Phil's got an interview that we're going to pass along with one of the top prospects in the country, set to make his announcement coming up later on this week. Phil had a chance to catch up with him over the weekend, so we'll bring that to you. May have some Clemson and Gamecock players that we'll delve out into here on the program tonight as well. Plus, we'll hit some of the headlines throughout the evening. Josh, I'll tell you what. There he is.
I'm back.
You were talking to yourself for about 5 minutes.
I don't know what you were saying, Phil, but it looked important.
Oh, my goodness. I just was rolling on for I don't know how many minutes. When did you lose me?
I don't really know, but it's funny is on the back end here, I can see that your device was online. It just says that you were not connected to a channel. And so that was the weird part.
We lost you, to give you an idea, Phil, about the time you were describing how the new head coach at North Greenville made his way to North Greenville.
Oh, gosh. That was 10 minutes ago.
Exactly. So
I gave 10 minutes of great commentary.
I'm sure you did. I told Josh, I thought that's not the easiest place to find, Tigerville, South Carolina, especially when you're in Arkansas. So I thought the story was fascinating, and then you disappeared, so we never got to hear how he made it from Arkansas through Limestone to where he is now.
Did you hear me mention his NFL background?
Yes, we did, and played for Coach Googs. Yeah, we did hear that part.
So he goes, he coaches, goes to the NFL, and then eventually gets to Limestone, and the job opened up here, and he applied for it, interviewed it, and he got the job, and he's got 4 other former NFL players on his staff. So obviously they're going to have a major NFL feel to what they do here at North Greenville. But then I was talking about the AP All-American team, which
we never
came
got
out
to hear
today.
any of that.
Okay, and so we talked about, or I mentioned the fact that the first-team All-American quarterback is Cade Klubnik, and the second-team All-American quarterback is Nussmeier from LSU. So no Lenore Sellers. They only did 2 teams. No Lenore Sellers. You did have Dylan Stewart and Jalen Kilgore, first-team, second-team from South Carolina. And Clemson had also on the All-American team, they had a couple of other guys on there as well. And I'll find that here for you in just a moment. But the reaction would be about not having – I mean, I'm sure some people were surprised that Lenore Sellers, with all the preseason talk and hype about him and other All-American teams, how he was not included on the AP team.
I'm wondering if that has as much to do with the fact of his team versus Nussmeier's team as anything, and obviously the hype surrounding Clemson may be in as much. Cade Klubnik, he's a Heisman Trophy candidate, which we thought Lenore Sellers was too, and may turn out to be. But, yeah, I do find it fascinating that SEC coaches who get to see him the most and SEC media that get to see Lenore Sellers the most actually voted him preseason number 1 in terms of that position over Garrett Nussmeier and also Arch Manning. But the Associated Press people, outside of, I'm assuming, our states, the All-American teams did not see fit to put Lenore on. You only had 2, and maybe they were also looking at the fact they didn't want to have 2 quarterbacks from the state of South Carolina on an All-American team.
Well, I mean, you're voting blindly, so you don't know who else is voting, who they're voting for. And I see what you're saying. An individual voter might not want to have 2 from the same state, but I think that'd be a poor rationale for doing that if you think
I would
they're
agree.
the 2 best quarterbacks in the country. Peter Woods of Clemson, also preseason first-team All-American. So Klubnik, Woods, and Stewart, all first team. And named to the second team, Clemson offensive tackle Blake Miller and wide receiver Antonio Williams and South Carolina safety Jelon Kilgore. So that is what the state representation looks like there for the All-American team on the AP. You know, there's a lot of All-American teams out there. I try to limit my conversation to the primary ones, the ones that are used to at the end of the regular season when you have your consensus All-Americans. There are, 5 different All-American teams that are used for that? And, of course, the AP is the longest running and most popular of the All-American teams, I would say. So the pressure falls on Cade Klubnik to live up to that. I mean, as far as the Heisman talk and all that, that's all cool. But when you're named the first team AP All-American, Bergie, that says something about what people think of you.
Absolutely. They think you are the best quarterback in the country, and normally that means you're probably one of, if not the best player in the country. So, yeah, it's a huge honor for him, and also a lot of weight to have to deal with as well. So, and again, everything we have seen since talking season started up through now is that Cade Klubnik's the Heisman Trophy candidate. The offense appears to be unstoppable if they can find a running game, and Clemson may go undefeated. So, we'll see.
I have to let you know, I'm not sure what just happened, but I just saw Phil take off his headset once again. So I'm not sure because
and he disappeared.
Yeah, he's disappeared once again. So as somebody said in our chat, lip readers, they did pretty well during that whole situation originally. Now he's off the screen.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know.
That is
I don't really know what's going on. I hope he's back before 7 o'clock when we can have Coach on and the players. But he's currently covering up his. I don't know. He's covering up his eyes.
It looks like he's outside. Yeah.
I'm not
Looks
sure.
like they have him set up outside. I tell you what, Josh, let's go ahead and get into our early break here, and that may give us a chance for you and he to get reconnected and figure out if we can solve this problem up in Tigerville. And then we'll come back. If not, we'll get into some more of the headlines of the day. Also take your phone calls again, 888-898-2525. If you'd like to join us clearly on a manic Monday here on Sports Talk, Palmetto Pigskin Tour presented by Discover, PalmettoSportsConnections.com. On the road tonight at North Greenville. We hope Phil would join us at some point in time tonight. You do as well here on Sports Talk.
When I grow up, I want to be a nurse.
I want to be an engineer.
I want to be a teacher.
There's never been a better time to start making their dreams come true. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan, makes it easy to save for their future education. Contributions are tax deductible, earnings are tax free, and you can start saving right now with any amount. Go to futurescholar.com today to discover the smart, easy way to save for college. That's futurescholar.com.
75 years. One reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. In fact, the lottery has raised more than $200 million for state school buses to get our students to school safely every day. Then, the lottery helps those students go even further in their education by funding the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. So remember, when you play the lottery, you're keeping South Carolina students on the road to success. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
George Bryan here with Tsunami Bar Sports and some great spring golf news. If you're ready to mash your tater, I think you need a Laginator. And if you want to get more speed and crack the whip, it's time for a mini stick. So TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 to get 10% off the Laginator and the mini stick. That's TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 for 10% off.
Okay, we're back. Sports Talk Media Network. Palmetto Pigskin Tour up here at North Greenville University. We've made some adjustments, some changes. Hopefully we've got a more solid connection for you now. So some of the stuff that I mentioned before that never went out from me over the air, I mentioned the Ian Shefflin arrest early Sunday morning by Clemson University police on a DUI charge. The Clemson police put out a statement today with more details on what happened. Basically, a Clemson University police officer spotted him going down Tiger Boulevard and pulled him over and had seen him swerving a little bit and or a little wobbly with his driving. Maybe the speed was a bit much as well, and pulled him over and hit him with a DUI, and they took him to jail, and he was released later Sunday morning, and Dabo Sweeney he issued a statement saying they were aware of the situation, and he would not be available to them for the didn't say a number of games, but he said early participation. He will not be participating in that. And Bergie, I mean, it's an embarrassing thing for him, and you hate to have that. This isn't a Georgia situation where they have had so many of these things and they were more severe situations. I mean, this is obviously severe. Any DUI is severe, but fortunately there was no accident. Nobody else was involved, so they avoided that. But, Yeah, so they've handled it, but this isn't a case where, from a football standpoint, this doesn't impact the Clemson team whatsoever.
No, I don't think so, and that's why Ian Shefflin, you've got to be smarter than this. I mean, what is he thinking? There is absolutely no excuse for being stopped for DUI. There's just no excuse you can give me that matters. There are Ubers. You could walk home. Yeah, you're probably somewhere in Clemson, so my guess is it's not that far to wherever your apartment is. This is just a massive mistake by a guy I didn't think was that kind of guy. And maybe he just made a bad mistake, and he certainly made a poor error in judgment. The fascinating part to me, Phil, reading some of the stuff from the Clemson Police Department, they did not make him take a breathalyzer test. So, at least according to some of the reports, that usually means the police believe a driver is already showing clear signs of impairment. But it also, at least in my mind, it means that if Ian Shefflin comes back to court later, he can say, look, nobody proved that I was drunk. I mean, it seems to me, and I'm not an attorney, but it seems to me there's a loophole right there for him. But this is just a really stupid mistake on Ian Shefflin's part. He should be ashamed of himself. You can't make this mistake, especially if you're trying to get on it just from a sports standpoint, not to mention societal. We've got enough problems with DUI. We don't need to continue to add people in our state to it. But just from a sports perspective, they can win without you, Ian. They don't need you. And they certainly don't need somebody who's going to put them on the front page of the newspaper and not the front page of the sports page. So, yeah, I think this may, I don't know if it ends Ian Shefflin's hopes of playing football for Clemson, but it certainly puts them on shaky ground for sure.
They do have, as the report came from the police, they put out more information today. They do have body cam footage of the police officer interrogating him, and I think in his report he wrote about what it was enough for him to believe that there was DUI involved here. So I don't know what the body cam part of that would come into play,
right?
Considering that, like you said, no breathalyzer. I don't know, but yeah, you're exactly right. I echo your total sentiments on that situation. So not good at all for Clemson from that standpoint. But again, not an impact on their football team by any means because of the players they already have at that position. South Carolina today announced that they are totally sold out of their season tickets for the upcoming season. So another school announcing a sellout of season tickets. So again, all the belly aching that we make about things going on in the world of college football, and over the weekend you saw reports where the Big Ten is kicking around along with the SEC the concept of expanding the playoffs to 24 or what was it, 28, 24 or 28 teams, and all this kind of stuff that just leaves you, at least me, banging your head against the wall. But it's not impacting the market. The market says, I like it. The market says, I want it. And the market says, I'm buying.
You're right. And it's interesting. I don't remember the season ticket allotment being as low at Carolina as it is. 47,500 is what they reported. That was the cutoff for season tickets. Didn't it used to always be well over 50,000, almost 55,000? Or am I misremembering?
Well,
here?
Keep in mind now they've lost some seats in the last couple of renovations. Their attendance, their capacity is down to like 77,000. So, I don't know if that season ticket count includes those who are buying the suites and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
but
gotcha.
They are down from they were like 82,000 capacity down to like 77,000. So, let's see what else to tell you about. Irmo loses 1-0 in 7 innings to Nevada at the Little League World Series.
That was
we'll
a
need to win
heartbreaking
3
finish.
games to reach. Yeah.
They actually
they'll
had
need to
Irmo was
win 3 games to reach the final out of the losers bracket.
Irmo was actually throwing a no-hitter through 6 innings. They had a no-hit game going into the 7th, and then in the 7th inning in Little League in extra innings, much like Major League Baseball, they start with a runner at second. Well, Irmo was batting first. They bunted the guy over to third with 1 out, could not drive him in. And then when the team from Nevada came up, they got the runner at second, actually got him picked off between second and third, and eventually got runners at first and second with 2 outs, got a base hit to right field, and unfortunately the right fielder overran the ball. As you could tell what he was thinking, I'm going to scoop and throw to home and try and get the guy out, and he overran the ball, and so that's how they were able to win the game. So tough break for the kids from Irmo.
That is a tough loss. Our poll question of the week presented by Larry Lucas Insurance. Call Larry at 803-799-1998 for all your insurance needs. Do you expect the NCAA to ultimately approve eligibility for South Carolina running back Rasul Faison? 75.4% voting today say yes. 24.6% say no. So NCAA has got the rest of this week, and they can go right up to Sunday, a week from Sunday. You do have a couple of extra days or an extra day. They can go right up to Sunday if they have to before making a ruling on this case. And they don't have to rule by then. They can go into the season before they make a ruling. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's hard to say. It's hard to speculate. If they haven't ruled by now, you wonder what's taking so much time. Were they all tied up with the Michigan case? What's the deal here? Why haven't they come up with a decision by now? But, I mean, I don't have you're just guessing if you think they'll get it done between now and the opening game. I would hope they would have it done by the time the Gamecocks play the opener.
You would think there's some sort of cutoff where the NCAA says, look, this is not fair to the school, the player, whatever, and we're going to make a ruling by the end of this week. So they've got a week to adjust on the fly. But maybe they look at it and said, look, this kid's not eligible, so it doesn't matter. But I love the way you phrase this question, because I'd love to be able to get every one of the 75% that said yes. Do they anticipate that he'll be approved before the season begins and without any legal action, rather, taken by USC? Are they as confident as Shane Beamer is? Because I'm not. I mean, I think I've made that clear. I'm not sure he's going to get ultimately approved without some sort of legal action by his team or USC. So I'd love.
Now Bergey's end.
Optimistic that he's going to be approved before the season begins.
You just went wang on. So,
I just
the beauty
went wang.
of the internet. Yeah. The PGA Tour and RBC announced a multi-year extension of the bank's title sponsorship of the RBC Heritage. RBC has been the title sponsor of the RBC Heritage since 2012. The 2026 RBC Heritage begins April 16th at Harbortown on Hilton Head, so that's good news. It's amazing the turnaround, because there was a time there, 10 years ago or so, maybe 15, when they were kind of teetering a little bit. And with their sponsorship of RBC and then Boeing stepping in as well, that's really put them on solid ground. And it also helps that the PGA elevated that event to an elevated event. And so the money's gone up, and the field, of course, has been excellent, even coming after the Masters. And South Carolina basketball going to face NC State, exhibition game October 26th in Raleigh, 4:30 p.m. They're going to follow a women's game between NC State and Maryland. Again, those are both exhibition games. And we'll be right back.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Partly cloudy this evening, a low temperature tipping to 75. Tomorrow, clouds much of the day to go with a high temperature of 88. For Wednesday and Thursday, our high temperatures hover right around 90 to go with about a 20% to 30% chance we get afternoon storms. Meanwhile, Friday looks like the next sure bet for some heavy rains. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he's begun arrangements for a face-to-face meeting between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss a pathway to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Trump says he discussed the matter with Putin following lengthy talks with Zelensky and European leaders Monday at the White House. Hurricane Aaron is forcing evacuations on North Carolina's Outer Banks as it churns in the Atlantic, where high winds and heavy rain are pelting the Turks and Caicos Islands and parts of the Bahamas. Forecasters are confident that Aaron will stay away from the eastern U.S. and won't make landfall, but they do predict the hurricane will churn up dangerous rip currents along North Carolina's barrier islands. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 34 points. This is SRN News.
Sometimes timing is everything, and I've been talking the talk about Broker Solar for a good minute. I'm a fan. I've had some Point listeners ask me about Broker Solar. They're on the fence because of what's going on in D.C. Now that the politics have settled, we know what's in that big, beautiful bill. We know the federal tax credit for getting solar power at your home. It's going to end in December, so the clock is ticking. You want that 30% federal tax credit, believe me. So we need to get Ken out to your place before they cut it. Plus, you'll still get a 25% tax credit here in South Carolina. So yeah, timing is everything. 30% federal, 25% state credit. Are you kidding me? That's a big part of the cost already knocked out for solar power. It's time for you to take control of your own power bill. Like I said, timing's everything. Now is the time. Online, it's brokersolar.com, or just call Ken and his team. 807-7417. That's 807-7417. brokersolar.com.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or here for steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus. Whether it's becoming a teacher, dentist, or engineer, every child deserves the chance to chase their dreams. Investing in a child's education with Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 College Savings Plan, can help turn those big dreams into next steps. So don't wait. You can start with any amount. Contributions are tax deductible and earnings grow tax-free. Discover the smart, easy way to save for college at FutureScholar.com.
Back to school shopping can be a hectic time of the year. Sally needs new shoes, Jimmy needs a laptop, Sarah has chemistry lab fees to cover, and you haven't even filled the fridge with groceries yet. Relax. Founders Federal Credit Union is here to help. Jumpstart your back to school shopping season with huge savings. Now through August 31st, get 6.99% APR on select back to school purchases when you use your Founders credit card. Whether it's books, backpacks, the latest tech gadgets, or the latest school fashion, you can save on all of it. Send your students back to school with confidence and make this school year the best one yet without breaking your budget. Stop by an office near you or visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information, including a complete list of eligible purchases and retailers. Relax. Make your life easier and more affordable with Founders Federal Credit Union. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends March 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13.25% to 17.9% will apply. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network. Tonight from North Greenville University. Happy to be up here. Division II team moving over from the Gulf South into Conference Carolinas. I'm sure they're happy about that. Who wants to play in the Gulf South? Nate Garner taking over as the head coach. We'll be talking with him a little bit after 7 o'clock, along with a couple of players, quarterback Dylan Perez and cornerback Jarek Foster, a couple of South Carolina guys. Before we dive into other things, I want to mention a couple of things from a well-wishing standpoint, sending out well wishes to George Bennett, who had a chance to go visit a couple of weeks ago when I was up at Clemson, longtime director of IPTAY, has been in some poor health of late, and I want to wish him well. Talked with Jim Toman yesterday, and he sounds good. He'd been down to Florida.
Awesome.
To watch his son play minor league baseball, and he's getting on with his treatments. He's kind of in between right now. There's a little bit of a period here where he doesn't have to have treatments. He's got more treatments coming up. He's at Duke. I mean, he's getting the best health care that he can get. So enjoyed talking to him. Hope he's doing well. And, our good friend, longtime friend, former on-air partner, Bill Gunter, who is the one of the afternoon voices on the Gamecock station in Columbia, is in the hospital and being treated for some things, and wish him the very best speedy recovery as well. So we think about those three folks and others who might be fighting some things, and we wish them the best. Wish them the best and speedy recovery. Though I got to be honest with George. I mean, he's in hospice, so I don't think there's going to be, any recovery there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's sad.
But a great man, great man. My quick story there was 1981 Clemson National Championship game in Miami, and I go down there, very young guy. I go down there to really help out Don Williams, who was at the network at the time. I was working for a station in Greenville. That was a trip where I got pulled over twice within 10 miles of one another in Newberry County as I was driving to Miami.
Of course it was.
Got pulled over by one highway patrolman. He let me go, went about 10 more miles, got pulled over by another highway patrolman, and he let me go too. So anyway.
See, Josh, even back then, Phil left late and tried to have to make it up on the roadways. Even back then.
Now, the speed limit was 55. It was hard to drive 55, back in those days.
Like
but
Sammy
anyway,
Hagar. I can't drive 55.
I get to the Orange Bowl. I don't have a credential. I wasn't, worthy of a credential. And so I had to get a ticket. And I think it was Don who suggested I go look up George and see if he had any tickets left from. And indeed he did. I got a ticket from him and actually sat in the upper deck and watched the game, and then had to wait outside the stadium, outside the Bowl, do some interviews with the players when it was all done. So George was great. Big at Clemson, so we wish him well. All right, phone number 888-898-2525. You can also drop us a text message. That number, 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. Let me get to some text messages here and catch up on some things. This goes back to our visit to Newberry last week. Asked Phil and the Newberry coach if they know what happened 40 years ago in 1985, Newberry history. What happened 40 years ago in 1985 in Newberry history? I will answer that for you. Eddie Taylor kicked a 57-yard field goal to defeat Furman. That was a big moment for Newberry. That's from Newberry alum Steve. 1985, Eddie Taylor, a 57-yard field goal in 1985.
And I'm wondering, Phil, if that's not still the school record at Newberry College. I mean, we're not talking about many kids at not just the D2 level, but in college, period, that are knocking them in from 60 yards out. That may still be a school record there.
I would think it would be. From Gamecock Tony in Lancaster. Wow, Dabo runs such a clean program for racing, injuring people, illegal drugs like Oster, DUI, and illegal recruiting before NIL. What a winner. Well, some of that has been proven true. The car racing, not good. They did have the Osterine issue, not good. Legal recruiting, well, nobody's ever proven that. And the DUI. And again, I think that for the most part, but for all the years, I think Dabo Sweeney's run a pretty clean program.
I think we lost him again.
Yeah, it was fading. I was wondering how much longer he was going to be able to fight through that. But I think his point was, yeah, for the most part, I don't think you can argue with Dabo Swinney, especially when you consider and I won't paint with a broad brush here, but looking across the landscape of college athletics, especially what we just saw with regards to Michigan. I don't think you can compare the Clemson program and the Michigan program. And keep in mind, Ian Shefflin's probably more a result of men's basketball than he is football. He's just trying, and I think he may have ruined that opportunity. Everybody deserves a second chance, and he's going to need to take full advantage if he gets it of a second chance after being arrested for a DUI. Just not a good look for Ian at all.
Sure. Phil, are you back here? I'm not sure if you are.
I think I am.
Okay. Yes, I definitely hear you. We got you.
Hear me?
We got you. We got you. You're still very choppy, but we do have you.
Okay. We're fighting it. We're fighting through it here in the mountain near North Greenville. May have to switch back to the hard line connection. I'm trying to use the wireless hotspot connection, and it's I guess it's in and out with us here. Mm-hmm. While we're on the subject of Clemson, let's hear from one of the Tigers, Avion Terrell, their outstanding cornerback, probably going to follow in the footsteps of his brother. His brother, of course, established himself as one of the best corners in the NFL. We'll see if that happens for the younger one, but he'll probably get his shot after this season to move on to the NFL and see what he can do. And he met with the media the other day to talk about getting ready for this season. He's improved new defensive coordinator, Tom Allen. These guys and all the defensive players brave and he's brought to the defense. Let's pick it up with Avion Allen. Avion to Clemson.
Oh, the energy grew a lot. Just the way we flying around, just competing out there on both sides, it just feels good. So he brought a lot of energy to the program.
There are a lot of players who talk about kind of their moment with Tom Allen, whether they make a big play or something. He's running up to you, slapping you on the helmet, maybe tackling you to the ground. Have you had a moment like that yet with him?
Yeah, he's the first one there. You make a play, you look up, he right over you. I'm like, damn, how do you get over there so fast? So, yeah, he over there.
What has been the biggest difference between Tom Allen and Wes Goodwin so far?
Oh, they both good coaches. They both brought energy to the field. Not a big difference, just the intensity is a lot higher, but both good coaches.
How does it feel wearing 8 this season?
Oh, I feel good. I feel like I'm back in my 8 bag, high school. So, I feel good.
What's the biggest difference between last year and this year that Coach Allen's brought to you guys on that side of the ball?
Energy. Just every day go out there with a go get 'em mindset, So everybody on the field just having good energy. We all talking, and I love it out there. It's good. Great intensity.
Within your game, just kind of take a stock into 2024. What are you trying to improve on as you enter this year?
Everything. I'll go back and look at my film, just fix those penalties and get into the ball. That's big. I want to get to the ball every play and just doing a lot of doing everything extraordinary.
What do you feel like you've learned the most about the secondary football camp so far?
We got a chance to be the best secondary in the nation. For sure. Just young guys, Ashton, Ricardo Jones, Ronan, my son Kelly, Sheldon, KB. Everybody just competing out there, and it look good, for sure.
What have you seen from Tink as he makes that transition from wide receiver?
Tink a dog. Tink is a dog. He a dog, and I like it because, you don't got to tell him to do too much. He came over from DB, and he just want to learn every day. I heard him the other day, yesterday, like he just want to go out there and go watch film after our late practice, So Tink just want it, for sure.
What are maybe some things you try to impart on him as he's made this change and some maybe technical things that he's had to kind of adjust to?
Just stay focused. Tink, he asked me a lot of questions, so I be breaking it down to him sometimes. We talk, so he used to play receiver, so he knows some receivers doing certain stuff, so he really a student of the game. He's smart with it, for sure.
On your house call at Clemson, that you want to be, I guess, more of a vocal leader. I guess, how do you kind of embrace that role?
Oh yeah, I've been doing good with that. That I had to get out my shell of just being quiet and leading by example. I still lead by example, but I'm being more vocal now because I have a voice that can be heard now. So I'm letting it be known.
Is it? Was there a moment so far in preseason where you pull a player to the side, or is it more like group wise where you just step up?
Oh yeah, I'm more like bring a player to the side and tell them about it, and just when we talk, or I might break it down. I ain't never used to just break it down. I've always been shy for some reason, but I've been breaking it down, being more vocal and stuff.
Are you kind of one of those fiery team leaders, or more toned down?
Toned down, very toned down. Yeah, to my group, to the corner group, I'd be more fired, but when we all together, I'd be more toned down. Wade fired up. Wade get us in that mode. So I like how Wade get at us for sure.
What are sort of the moments where Wade kind of gets y'all fired up?
Every moment. Meetings, he get us fired up. Weight room, he get us fired up. Wade is a leader. I like how Wade lead.
Talk about this group being potentially the best secondary in the country. Has there been a moment in fall camp, or maybe even back in the spring, where you're like, okay, yeah, this really has a chance to be something special?
Oh yeah, I seen it in spring. I seen it last year, but I really see it in spring, Just how we communicate, how we move, and how everybody just on the same page back there, and that's big, for sure.
Okay, so he feels really good about the Clemson secondary, Avion Terrell. And I don't know, Bergie, I think their corners look really good. I think that there's reason to be a little bit concerned about the safety spots right now, because you've had Khalil Barnes dealing with a little bit of an injury. When healthy, he's really good. Kylon Griffin, I imagine, is going to be the other safety as things stand right now. You got Ricardo Jones figuring into things. So I don't know. I think the two corners are excellent, Hampton and Terrell. I think, talking about Clemson and what they might do this coming season, I think there's some areas of concern besides that. I think you've got to look at the offensive line and see that you got a right guard if Walker Parks is able to start. You got a right guard coming off some kind of a knee-type injury. You got a left guard who has a history of back issues, which have sidelined him in the past. You got two pretty solid tackles. You got a pretty solid center. You got some backups you can run in there if necessary, but you don't want to be shuffling too much. You got an unproven running game with a former wide receiver you've converted to running back. You lost a lot of production from the guy who moved on from tight end, though you do have three guys who look like they can carry the mail there. And now the wide receiver room looks really good. So this might be a really pass-heavy Clemson offense if they can protect Klubnik. Of course, he has the ability to run around. But, of course, that's going to mean he's going to put the ball in jeopardy maybe more than he has in the past.
Well, he cut down on his interceptions a bit last year, and I saw a stat and a tweet, and I should have kept it handy because I thought it was fascinating. If you look at what Cade Klubnik has done throughout his career at Clemson, the tweet basically suggested that he's not going to beat you with the deep ball. He's not going to hit 30-yard bombs on you, 40-yard bombs on you. What he normally does, where he's most successful, is right around the line of scrimmage and a few yards down the field. Now, is that because of him? Is that because of Garrett Riley's offense? Not sure. But part of the reason he was so successful and cut down on the turnovers last year is the majority of his passes aren't the deep balls. He's not going to threaten you deep. And if you get into a situation where they can't run the football, is Clemson going to have to be a team that can move the ball through the air down the field further? They're going to have to stretch the field better than maybe they have since Cade taken over at quarterback.
And he's gone again.
Of course.
And he's gone again. I mean,
all right, so
I'm not sure what I think. Sometimes he can't hear us. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on. I see him connect, disconnect. So I guess we just go to the break.
It is a tough feed up there tonight, it appears, up in North Greenville. So we will slide out for a timeout. Plenty more, obviously, between now and next weekend between Clemson and LSU to talk Tiger football. You can chime in, though, at 888-898-2525. Less of Phil might mean more of you, and that's not always a bad thing. You can text us as well. If you'd like to be a part of the program, we'll slide out, come back on the other side as we continue on a Manic Monday. Minus Phil, perhaps.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, Playoffs favorite, a long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Looking to make life simpler and save money? Make the smart move. Transfer your high interest balances to a Founders credit card and take advantage of our balance transfer rate as low as 2.99% APR. That's right, as low as 2.99% with no balance transfer fees. That means more breathing room for what matters, like taking that long awaited vacation or finally getting ahead. Whether you're catching up or simply just want to relax, we're here to help you save more. So, what are you waiting for? Take advantage of this limited time offer through September the 30th. Apply now and enjoy peace of mind knowing you've made a smart move that works for your wallet and for you. Visit foundersfcu.com or stop by a local office today. Promotional rate expires 6 months from the date of the transaction. Then effective APR of 13.25% to 17.9% will apply. For more details, visit foundersfcu.com/cc. Membership qualification required.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosteller Brown. Did you know your will is designed for your assets to pass through the probate court? If you want to keep your loved ones out of court, a revocable trust is a great place to start. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information and to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Palmetto Pigskin Tour on the road tonight, we hope. Trying to reconnect with Phil Kornblut up in North Greenville. Our tour all season long brought to you by Discover Palmetto Sports Connections.com. Brand new website with all the info you need to know. Log on to Discover Palmetto Sports Connections.com. We hope to catch up with the North Greenville Trailblazers just after the top of the hour. We'll also hear from Gamecock running back Oscar Attaway, who may have to tote the mail, not necessarily on his own, but certainly be the featured back depending on what happens with Rashul Faison, and may have to figure out a way to do some recruiting tonight as well. So as we work behind the scenes with Josh trying to reconnect with Phil, we know one place we can go to connect with you, and that's on our phone lines at 888-898-2525 as we welcome in Dennis from Rock Hill. You're up first here tonight on Sports Talk. Good evening, Dennis. How are you?
I am doing fantastic.
Well, we're glad. We are glad.
And I've got some thoughts I wanted to convey. First one is, how about Spencer Rattler's performance?
I did not see his game, so you have to fill us in. How did he do?
Oh, man, he was fantastic in the second half of his exhibition game. Led him down the field. 17-3 halftime performance. He played the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the game, he ran it in, drove him down the field, ran it in for a 2-point conversion to tie the game.
How about that?
He was,
and that game ended in a tie, right?
Fantastic. Okay, and another thought I have is I have not heard anything about South Carolina's kicker and punter this year. What's the status?
That is a very good question, and one that Shane Beamer has been asked numerous times throughout the few opportunities that we've had to hear from him. I don't know that they have a solid kicker, at least two they're going to run out against Virginia Tech, stabilized yet. Phil, do you know? Do the Gamecocks have a place kicker in place as we speak, or will we find that out when Coach Beamer meets with you guys on tomorrow at some point in time?
I'm not even sure he'll say anything about it tomorrow. It might be right up until game week, and you might not know until they trot out there in Atlanta to face Virginia Tech. I mean, it's, right now it's been Mason Love handling some place kicking and some punting. You got William Joyce. You've had Max Kelly, I think, the freshman, also handling some place kicking and some punting. So it's still an open competition among several guys as far as we know. Of course, nobody is really in the media has a chance to see them outside of the few moments we've had a chance to watch some practice. Nothing as far as the scrimmages goes. So I think it's still an open competition, and when we will find out remains to be seen.
Well, that is a little disappointing because I know the kicker cost us 2 games last year, and we had a great punter.
Yeah. I mean, Kai Kroger was one of the best in the country.
Okay, and, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first one, who is the best high school player you ever saw in person that you knew was going to be great?
The best high school player I ever saw in person who I knew was going to be great. Oh,
Okay, let me interject mine. Was Steve Fuller.
Yeah. Reason to feel that way. I mean, my gosh, you think about all the high school players we've seen over the years, that would certainly be one. You could have said Jerry Butler. You could have said Marcus Lattimore. You could have, I mean, gosh, there's so many that you would point to who you looked at in high school. Roscoe Crosby, A.J. Green. Shoot, I could stay here all night and name players that you saw in high school who you were.
Exactly.
And they're all, I mean, they would all fall in the category of being the best, because they were all great players at one time or another.
Okay, well, the last question I'm going to ask, is this the year the Gamecocks have been waiting for 100 years? And I'll hang up and hear you.
Well, I mean, they almost got there in '84, don't forget. And are they going to win the national championship this year, Bergie? I don't think so. I think that South Carolina is going to have a good year. One more thing I wanted to say about Clemson, too, and sort of kind of breaking them down a little bit and where they have some areas of concern, the punting game as well. They don't know who their punter is going to be. And from what we've read from reports that people have gotten, the punting that has taken place has not been really good. So, that could be a problem for them in tight ball games when you're talking about flipping the field and all that kind of stuff, or punting out of a deep part of your own field. But I would say that, South Carolina, I think both of them are going to be around that 9-win category. I think the game in November might determine which one gets to 10 wins. I think they might come in, both of them, like maybe not 9-2 or something like that. All right, top of the hour.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Church leaders and parents' rights groups throughout California are gearing up for a massive effort tomorrow aimed at derailing State Assembly Bill 495. It's being called a child trafficker's dream because it allows strangers to remove children from public schools or daycare centers without their parents' permission. Karen England, president of the Capital Resource Institute in California, says every parent in America should be concerned.
Well, on the 19th, we're having a big rally, press conference, and lobby day where we're hoping thousands of citizens come and send them out to lobby the senators to oppose this bill. This bill has been flying under the radar, and so we need to stop this bill because it goes to the Senate floor, and if it passes, it goes straight to the Governor Gavin Newsom. So we have to stop it on the 19th.
More information on AB 495 can be found on the website realimpact.us. The terrorist group responsible for the October 7th attack on Israel wants a ceasefire.
Hamas says it's accepted a new proposal from Arab mediators for a ceasefire in Gaza. That's as the Palestinian death toll passes 62,000 people. Israel still needs to approve the proposal. 22 months into the war, Israel has announced plans to reoccupy Gaza City and other heavily populated areas after ceasefire talks appeared to break down last month. Those plans have sparked international outrage and have frustrated Israelis who fear for the remaining hostages from the 2023 attack that sparked the war. I'm Haya Panjwani.
President Trump says he's begun arrangements for face-to-face meetings between Russia's Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 34 points, more at Town Hall.
This is Dennis Prager for AmFed Coin and Bullion. There's something about the feel of a gold coin in your hand and the way the light reflects off its intricate details that has always captivated me. Nick Grovich, AmFed's owner, turned that same passion into his livelihood. Nick began collecting coins as a teen, and that interest grew into a nationally respected business offering only the finest quality coins at the most competitive prices. But the truth is that although Nick is a rare coin dealer, he doesn't believe in rare coins. Rare coins do not make sound investments, but they do make dealers a lot of money. See, that's part of what I respect about him. AmFed specializes in buying non-performing numismatic coins and turning them into gold or silver investments that provide liquidity and perform competitively against the market. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
Blue states continue to pay an economic price for policies that punish the rich. Bob Agnew reports.
You tax the rich and you lose the rich. Jonathan Williams with the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEX, says it's a simple formula that's been proven time and again. Just looking at his group's own Rich States, Poor States annual survey. Millionaires' taxes drive out the wealthy, drive out small businesses, and those states at the end of the day are left with less revenue, not more. Case in point, California has lost another major corporation. In-N-Out Burger says it will move its headquarters out of California to tax-friendly Tennessee. Bob Agnew reporting.
Authorities say 2 police officers were shot and killed in Utah, and a man was taken into custody after bystanders persuaded him to drop the gun. The officers were responding to a domestic disturbance call. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Partly cloudy this evening, a low temperature dipping to 75. Tomorrow, clouds much of the day to go with a high temperature of 88. For Wednesday and Thursday, our high temperatures hover right around 90 to go with about a 20% to 30% chance we get afternoon storms. Meanwhile, Friday looks like the next sure bet for some heavy rains. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make the point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network. On this Monday night, it's been a manic Monday for us as we have been trying to get ourselves connected up here at North Greenville, kind of in and out. But you know what? It's all about what you're doing right now. And right now we've got, hopefully, a connection that's going to hang with us for a little while. We're here on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour, and we're up at North Greenville University, where they have a brand new coach, brand new approach to things here in football at North Greenville, and we're going to get to him in just a moment. Also, a couple of players are going to be alongside as well. We have Chris Bergen with us from the Berge Palace over in Sardis, and Josh Cohen at our studios in Columbia. We got some recruiting coming up for you in a little bit, including an interview that I did last night with Darius Gray, the big offensive lineman from over in Richmond, Virginia, who's going to be announcing on Friday night. An announcement we'll be able to carry, if it goes on time, around 7 o'clock. But we are now joined by Coach Nate Garner, the first-year head coach here at North Greenville. And first of all, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
And thank you for maybe saving the day with your little bit of logic when it comes to the internet and electronics.
Oh, yeah, I know a little bit about that type of stuff.
Yeah, where did you pick that up?
Oh, I did it I was in computer engineering when I was at Arkansas, so learned a lot about it there, and just always had a kind of a logical mind.
They made you go to class at Arkansas?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, welcome to North Greenville. You took over in January. How's it been going so far?
Man, it's been great, man. The guys have really bought into what I'm teaching them, and they're out there working their tails off for me every single day. I'm enjoying it.
What are some of the things that you are teaching as a first-year head coach?
Chris, would you believe me if they just disconnected? Would you believe it?
Oh, boy. It's more difficult to do the Palmetto Pigskin Tour when we don't have the tour parts.
Yeah,
so
I'd say so.
Is there a way, now that we're thinking live on the air, this will be fun. We can bring our listeners in behind the curtain a little bit for Radio 101. Is there a way we can just get Phil to talk on the phone?
Well, I'm sure we could, although they don't know that they're disconnected. They're still talking. I took them off the screen, but Phil's still talking into the microphone. They're still having a very intelligent conversation. I can see him looking into the camera right now and wondering why he's not on the screen and adjusting his glasses and a lot of things.
Oh, boy. Try and wanted to make a good impression of Coach Garner. First time we've had a chance to be with him. I wanted to hear his story about computer science. Sounds like a highly intelligent guy.
Sounds like we got him back. There we go.
We dropped. Well, we continue to have an issue. Where did we drop, fellas?
I think after your first question.
After the first question.
Yeah, about the computer science. By the way, Phil, just as a backup, since Josh and I have been hashing out engineering opportunities here over the air, is there a way you can do it over your phone?
Oh, there is. Don't want to.
I get that.
But there is, yeah. We're going to give this a whirl here again.
All right, fair enough.
With
Take it
Coach
away.
Nate Garner and see how long we can. I apologize. Just sometimes you run into these situations where electronically it's just not your day.
Oh yeah, every once in a while we'll lose internet down here, so it's just I guess it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's like fumbling at the,
Can't have that.
You drive it down the field and you hope you stick it in the end zone. But we were saying about you're coming in here, you're taking over this program, and you're trying to teach these guys your philosophies on football. Again, what are some of those philosophies that you're trying to teach them?
Oh, man, I just want those guys to go out and play with a dominant mindset and just fast and loose, man. I want them to go out there and not be afraid of failure, go out there and just put everything on the line and give it everything they have every single play.
What has impressed you about the guys that you have inherited, the ones coming back, and the way they've adjusted to the new coaching staff coming in?
I think they've done a great job, man. They've really bought into what we're teaching. They bought into my staff. They're spending time in the guys' offices and just trying to learn all the knowledge that we have. We got 4 guys that played in the NFL on staff here, counting myself, and they're buying into everything we teach because that kind of brings a little bit of instant credibility with the kids, and I think they really appreciate that and enjoy it, and they just want to pick our brains all the time.
Yeah, what are some of the things from your NFL days and your assistant coaches, just the way you had to go about your business to be an NFL player? What are you sharing with these guys about, this is how you got to conduct your business?
Oh, man, you just got to grind every single day. Just go to work, put the work in. There's no shortcuts, man. You go in, you go to work, and when the work's done, that's when you're done. That's really what it is with the guys and the players and the staff. That's kind of how we operate. If the work's done, hey, we'll get out of the office. But if there's still work to be done, we're going to be here all night if we need to.
From your days at Arkansas with Houston Nutt and your days in the NFL, primarily with Miami, right?
Yes, sir. All 7 years with Miami.
All 7 years with
Yes,
Miami.
sir.
So who were some of the major influencers on you that kind of formed your belief on football from both your Houston Nutt days and your days at Miami?
Well, I mean, obviously got Houston Nutt, man. He was a great players coach. I absolutely loved playing for that man. Like, I would run through a brick wall for him to this day. Like, he just got us to buy into him and to play for him every single day. So that was pretty awesome. And then in the league, man, Coach Tony Sperano and Coach Dave DeGuglielmo, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Those two guys, man, they got you to buy into them as well and kept it fun. That's one of the things I try to do with these kids is I try to keep it fun, keep it fast and loose out there, and I don't ever take myself too seriously, but on the field. On the field is the only time I'm a serious kind of guy. When they're off the field, I want to have fun with these guys to be around me and enjoy their time around me. I don't want them to be scared of me off the field. On the field, they can be a little scared of me.
Yeah, I get that. So this is your first time as a head coach. So, I mean, how do you pattern yourself after Coach Nutt? Do you pattern yourself after somebody else?
Man, I kind of blend all those guys together. As an O-line coach, I took after Coach Googe, but as a head coach, I've kind of taken a few things from each one of them. So I'm just trying to take the best assets of all those guys, even Coach Furry and Coach Cottry. I learned a lot from those guys at Limestone the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to pick and choose the best of all of those guys.
What did you take from Googe?
Oh, man, I took his classroom personality, man. He's awesome in there. He keeps you entertained. So you're constantly you're getting information delivered to you. Then you're having a little bit of a fun on the side of it, and then you're back to getting information. So that's kind of how I run my meetings. I want it to be kind of loose in there. I don't want the guys to be sitting there prim and proper, upright. I want them to feel relaxed but be able to receive the information.
So a game day for you as you're on the sidelines with the headset for the first time, I guess, not only – because you were an offensive line coach at Limestone, so you only worried about the offensive line.
Oh,
now
yeah.
you got to worry about everything. So how do you think that's going to be for you that first time out when you're on the sideline and everybody's looking at you for answers?
Well, it's probably going to be very similar to my first day of practice. Like, I had never watched any of the skinny guys, as I call them, like the receivers and DBs. I've never seen any of those guys practice before in my life because every time I've been at a practice, I've either been participating at O-line or the O-line coach. So I went over there and watched those guys, and I was shocked about how much those guys move in practice. So it's probably going to be kind of like that. There's going to be a lot to learn, and that's something I've been open with in this. Hey, there's a lot of don't knows I don't know, and I'm trying to learn them all right now. And on the sideline, I'm going to be paying attention to both sides of the ball now. So that's going to be a lot of fun for me, and I'll be able to hopefully help the defense with my knowledge of offense, and then obviously still help the offense the way I've done in the past.
Do you think was that your biggest challenge becoming when you became a head coach, as far as having to learn how to run an entire team instead of just a unit of 10 or 12 guys?
Oh, well, I had 30 guys in the room at Limestone at some time.
30 offensive linemen?
30 offensive linemen. So I was used to running big rooms. So that wasn't the biggest issue. Honestly, the biggest issue was the administrative side. So just dealing with, like right now, we're dealing with logistics of getting the trip to Delta State planned. So just dealing with all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's really the side of it that has been the biggest learning curve for me. Football side, that comes naturally. So I'm used to learning football. That no issues there. But when it comes to that administrative stuff, I haven't done all that my entire life. So learning that right now.
What did you learn from Coach Furry at Limestone?
Man, I learned how to get guys to buy into you. Like he would get any and every single one of those players to buy into him, and I took a lot of that from him. His energy at practice, he always brought the energy every single day, and then just how to run a program and how to challenge your coaches, like how to challenge your coaches to build themselves up and lift them up, and to want to improve themselves on a daily basis.
So tell me about your team. I mean, what do you think about the guys that you have on the offensive side, quarterbacks, receivers? What do you think of the group you're working with?
Man, we got a great group on that side, man. They're putting it together. They're going through the installs, learning them. Obviously, we're making some mistakes, but that's where you learn. You learn when you make mistakes. So I think those guys are doing a great job of facing the adversity of learning a new playbook and just going out there every single day. Like I said, going to work.
Fast group, physical group, how would you describe them?
All the above, man. They're fast, physical, hard-working, hard-nosed dudes. Just want to go out there and move the ball down the field.
Can they move it?
Oh, yeah. They definitely can move it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Your quarterback, Dylan Ramirez, thoughts?
Man, he's a dog. He can go out there. He's a ball player. Like that's what he is. no other thing to say about him other than he's a ball player. He's going to go out there and give you his best every single play no matter what. He's going to work his tail off, and he's going to get the most out of this team, too. He's a great leader. Really, really enjoyed watching him work.
Who's your OC?
Dustin Noller.
Former quarterback.
Yeah, former quarterback.
Yeah.
Former quarterback in Limestone. So I got to work with him the last 3 years over there. So now we're over here. I got a ton of faith in him, man. He's a great play caller. Very, very knowledgeable when it comes to football, man. He's awesome.
He was on this show when we were at Limestone.
Oh, yeah.
You know. His first time as an OC?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of game do you think he'll call?
Man, I think he's going to call it a great game. I'm looking forward. I'm honestly excited to see what he does, man. Seeing him take that first step. I've seen him call plays off the cuff multiple times, so he did that in games the last 3 years. You know, he'd go out there, hey, I don't really like that call. I'm going to change it up to this. Yeah. Hey, as long as it worked, we were happy. If it didn't work, we had to give him a little information on that. But,
yeah.
No, he does a great job.
Who's your DC?
J.R. Clark, man. He was the DC at Limestone the last 2 years and had great comfort with that guy. He's doing a great job for us.
He likes to do what?
Man, he runs a little bit of everything. He's an awesome defensive coordinator. He just, like I said, he inspires those guys to play and run through a brick wall through him, man. He'll go out there and get the most out of every single guy we got on the field.
Is he a screamer? Is he an in-your-face kind of DC, a very energetic guy?
Oh, he's got some energy, but he's not a screamer, man. I haven't really seen him scream or rip guys. He's got an interesting personality. He's not necessarily goofy, but he's extremely serious.
And to me, that sounds like that's another disconnect, Chris.
Oh, my gracious. And it was rolling along so nicely.
Yes, it was doing so well. It was doing so well.
All right, well, let's take a timeout. This would be about the time we'd be done with Coach Garner anyway, and just a heads up on North Greenville. Again, he's got a couple of extra weeks to get ready. Their first game is not until September the 6th on the road at Delta State before they get rolling. So, again, a couple of extra weeks to get settled in Tigerville, and we'll do the same. We'll try and get settled in Tigerville with a couple of the North Greenville Trailblazers, hopefully to join Phil next. Plus, we've still got Oscar Attaway on the way, and interview Phil did with one of the highly sought-after prospects in the country. All of that to come on a Manic Monday here on Sports Talk.
"75 years. One reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. That's the sound of a big hit on you and your car or truck. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years, helping people who get injured in car wrecks and truck wrecks. If you have serious injuries, call Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or email me at jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. That's Corbett. I don't get paid unless I recover for you. Jim Corbett Attorney, for your best recovery from a big hit, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina. Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
That makes no sense.
Back on Sports Talk, and I think we might have lost everybody. I'm not sure what's going on, but I can't hear anybody. Chris? Corn? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I'm going to try to get reconnected with all of them. Bergie, can you hear me?
I got you. I didn't realize I had disappeared. My apologies.
You're fine. Bad timing. I lost Phil. I lost you. I don't know what's going on.
You know, there are certain nights that the radio gods are trying to tell you something. You should listen.
Yeah,
and what they're trying to tell us is we need to go home.
Well, we still
try again tomorrow.
We got 40 minutes until that can happen. So we're gonna have to make it through.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do to try and fill the next 5 minutes until we can reconnect up at North Greenville on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour and hopefully wrap up with head coach Nate Garner and a pair of his players. Let's talk some Gamecock football. USC gearing up for that Sunday. A week from this coming Sunday, not this weekend, but the following Sunday over Labor Day weekend, the matchup in Atlanta with Virginia Tech. And one of the guys who may suddenly burst onto the scene because of the situation with Rashul Faison at running back is Oscar Attaway. He visited with the media a couple of days ago, and here's what he has to say about the running back room at Carolina.
Rasul's out there practicing with you guys. Who knows what's going to happen? But how did the other guys in the running back room approach that situation? If he can, if he can't play, how did the rest of you guys judge where you're at?
Yeah, everybody just attack every day. That's how we going about it.
When you look at the group as a whole, how do you feel like you guys have come along now through one scrimmage and about 10 days into fall camp?
We've all came along very, very good, very good. Like everybody's doing great. Everybody's in great shape. That's all you can ask for in like day 11 of fall camp.
From an offensive standpoint as a whole, what'd you see from y'all's group in the scrimmage on Saturday?
What the offense does, we just moving the ball. That's all we can ask for, and that's all we can do. So, good offense, good offensive line. Everybody gelling very well.
Coach Shula was raving about what you did in the spring. How much better are you after putting in the work in the bowl game prep, the winter, and now in the spring?
Yeah, so getting ready for the bowl game, I was in a boot 3 days prior, and then right before we took Gamecock walk out for there, I was in a boot. I took my boot off just so I could walk. So, the bowl game prep was great because, I could get in a lot of reps with those guys that was here last year, the TJ Sanders, the Demetrius Nice, the Nick Kimmon Wars, all of that type of deal. But then I went to spring and I just had to attack spring. I had to get healthy. I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to get faster. I had to get stronger because I knew I was going to have a lot of load on me this year. So it's been good. Appreciate you asking me that question. Yeah, Coach Shula's seen it, and it's a good thing when you put a lot of work in and somebody sees it. So
you kind of mentioned getting bigger, faster, stronger. Where have you seen yourself improve the most from last year to this year?
When I first got here, I was 11% body fat, but now I'm down 8, 9. Then on top of that, running 22 miles, 21 miles per hour. So just getting my speed up and getting my body weight down and everything. Just getting my body in shape.
So were you not at 100% that bowl game?
Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. It was one play, literally the last drive. I'm sorry I'm talking about this. I don't even like bringing it up last year. It was the last drive, and I had got it. It was a good cut in the backfield, but then I had to put my right foot in the ground to cut off of it, and it was I didn't have a right leg. I was oh dang. I had to take medicine and everything just to get out there and be what I was. So yeah.
I know you probably attack every year the same, but was there anything when you came into this season, knowing that it's your last, was there any sense of, hey, this is it?
It's been that every single year, man. I got a crazy journey. Every year I go into it thinking that this is it. This could be my last year playing football. This could be my last year being alive. You know what I'm saying? So every year I've approached it like that. But of course, going into year 7 and being this is year 7. You know what I mean? Everybody looking at me bro, what up, Unc? And I'm but I accept it. You know what I'm saying? And I just go out there and just do what I can do and just try to improve, get better and better and better every single day.
For you going into this season, how do you view the opportunity to potentially get more carries this year, especially if Rasul's not able to go week 1?
I mean, I hope he is ready to go week 1, but it's a blessing and an honor, you know, just to come out here and run the football for the University of South Carolina. Like, it's different, you know, like running for that C with a Gamecock in the middle of it. Like, I want to give it all, my 130%, 127%, like everything, you know what I mean? So it's an honor.
When you're running the ball in a backfield with Lenore Sellers, are there holes that open up for the running backs because the defense has to worry about him and you?
I mean, of course, like any football team with a dual threat quarterback, you know, like especially with a guy like Lenore Sellers, you know what I'm saying? Like even with a Lamar Jackson or with a Michael Vick, like it's gonna be an extra hole there because they gotta protect everything because he is a threat, a huge threat. So yeah, like of course.
Coach Beamer has talked a lot about your leadership and who you are off the field. I'm just curious the last 2 years, like what it's been like building a relationship with him.
First and foremost, like before I even committed here, when I seen Coach Beamer on his social media, it was like one of the was it The Office? He was like outside running and stuff. Like I was at North Texas at the time, and I had seen that, and I was at school actually in class on my way to class, and I had seen it. I was like, that's a head coach I would love to play for right there. Like what a guy, right? And so when I got here, he's everything that I thought it was. So like I wanted to just build that relationship with him and build that relationship with him. Like, and I'm glad that he raves about me and everything. Like that's an honor, that's a blessing. Shout out to Coach.
You went up against some of the best defensive tackles in the SEC last year. Curious, what's it like this season going up against one of those newcomers in Gabe Brownlow-Dindy?
I'm getting the same kind of energy from him. Like I did that like during the season and every day at practice. So yeah, like it's the same thing from him. He's a dog, different stature. You see him walking and you just be like, was that a human that walked by me? Like, you know what I'm saying? That dude is humongous.
How do you kind of, I don't know if like the question of like with trying to ramp up a little bit more with more carries this year, you know, last year you're number 2 behind Rocket, but you know, you've had that number 1 experience before. How do you kind of prepare yourself to ramp up to get back up to those 100+ carries that you could get?
You attack like I said before, like I attack every year like it's my last. So like I attack like I'm gonna get those carries in the preseason, regular season, summer, spring. Like I attack it all like that just so I can be prepared for it.
South Carolina's leading rusher as a running back. Oscar Attaway returning from last season where he rushed for 295 yards and 3 touchdowns. As he pointed out at the beginning of the clip with the media, he's going to be asked, you would think, to shoulder a much bigger burden in terms of the running game, especially if Rashul Faison is not cleared to play. You may be looking at a guy they're going to ask to carry the football, if possible. Just looking at how many times Rocket Sanders carried it last year, he carried it 183 times, Attaway 77. Give you an idea. And right in between was Lenore Sellers and his 166 carries a year ago. All right, still working to try and bring the rest of the Palmetto Pigskin Tour to you tonight. We apologize for the issues we've been having on the tour tonight. Brought to you by, it's not their fault. Discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. Just North Greenville, we're having an issue up there. We're hoping to get Coach Phil back after the bottom of the hour.
It's 2025. Why can't we have cell towers that work? It's 2025. We're halfway through it. Just get cell towers that work. It's not that hard.
Have you ever been to Tigerville?
No, I have not.
You can't get there from Columbia. That's why.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Partly cloudy this evening, a low temperature tipping to 75. Tomorrow, clouds much of the day to go with a high temperature of 88. For Wednesday and Thursday, our high temperatures hover right around 90 to go with about a 20% to 30% chance we get afternoon storms. Meanwhile, Friday looks like the next sure bet for some heavy rains. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
1100. With SLN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he's begun arrangements for a face-to-face meeting between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss a pathway to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Trump says he discussed the matter with Putin following lengthy talks with Zelensky and European leaders Monday at the White House. 3 more Republican governors have authorized National Guard deployments to Washington, D.C. as part of President Trump's efforts to crack down on crime and boost immigration enforcement. Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana join other states, bringing the total number of troops to over 1,100. The governors say they're responding to Trump administration requests. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 34 points, the Nasdaq rose 6. More details at srnnews.com.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. I'm pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing the Wing and a Prayer Wednesday Special. Purchase an order of wings and a drink and get a free gift card for the arcade. We have some of the most mouth-watering jumbo wings like flamethrower hot wings, barbecue wings, teriyaki wings, honey mustard wings, terry hot wings. You can get a half dozen for $9.95 or a dozen for $18.95. Served with celery and choice of dressing. So come join us at Flight Deck Restaurant to enjoy some great jumbo wings and lots of fun in our new and improved arcade. And we at Flight Deck Restaurant thank y'all, and God bless.
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
That music is appropriate. That music is sort of like smooth sailing music. So we're going to sail smoothly through the final half. Thanks to Coach's idea with his electronic wisdom. I think maybe we've gotten it sorted out to get us through the last half hour. It's been a little choppy for us here at North Greenville, but that's okay. We move on to the next play, Coach.
Yes, sir. Next play mentality.
You might have had a penalty. You might have had a fumble.
That's about all the time. Next play mentality. That's the only play that matters, the one right in front of you.
So we're giving North Greenville some extended love.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've had to interrupt here a couple of times. We're going to get to the players in just a moment, but I wanted to wrap up with you because it's It's been a pleasure off the air talking to you. So, real quick, your career at Arkansas, you were a starter in your final year of 2007, and we were talking off the air. You faced South Carolina, of course, during your times in the SEC. You were blocking the night the Razorbacks rushed for how many yards against the Gamecocks?
I know it was over 500 yards. I just don't remember the exact number.
I was at that game.
Oh, yeah.
I was at that game. I went down to the field late and looked up at the scoreboard, and you guys crossed 500 yards rushing because you had your scoreboard has the stats listed, passing yards, rushing yards, etc. You guys crossed 500 yards, and it was awe-inspiring. I mean, you just don't see that every day.
No, that was crazy. And the crazy thing is, too, we had over 700 yards total offense.
Yes, you
game.
did.
Yeah, that was a wild game.
Who were your running backs?
We had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, and Peyton Hillis. So three drafted running backs from that same class. It was awesome.
They were pretty good.
Oh, yeah, they were definitely
good.
awesome to have back there to block for.
What was it like as an Arkansas player when they called the Hogs?
Man, it made my hair stand on end, man. It gave me goosebumps, man. I really enjoyed it, and, man, it was just an experience to be out there and be able to be on the field when they did that.
Can you call the Hogs right now?
I don't know how many of the South Carolina people like that, but, yeah, hey, woo, pig suey, baby.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging in there with us. The ups. Hey, it's like a football game. You're going to have some ups. You're going to have some downs.
Yes, sir.
And
hey, Phil, before you turn Coach loose.
And we're finishing up. Yeah.
Before you turn Coach loose, if I may, since we missed some stuff about his team, I don't know if you had a chance to ask him when you were on or off the air, but how much of a challenge is it, or how anticipatory is it that you guys actually don't kick off until the Saturday after Labor Day when everybody else will have played at least one, if not two games?
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's given us some time to prepare, and these guys are doing a great job. And listen, we're about to start school this Wednesday, so hey, just getting into that rhythm of the game week prior to getting to game week is going to be an awesome opportunity for us as a staff. First time our whole staff's been together, and then as a group with us, it's going to be awesome to be able to just get into that rhythm without having a game at the end of the week.
Coach, good luck. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. We'll be talking to you.
I appreciate it. Look forward to it.
All right. Thank you. We're going to swing over to the players, and we welcome in the quarterback, Dylan Ramirez, out of Broome High School. And we also welcome in out of Nation Ford High School cornerback, Jarek Foster, a.k.a. fastest man on campus. Jarek, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Fastest man on campus?
Yes, sir.
Clocking on about a what?
I'd probably give it a 4.4. Under a 4.4.
Are you a track guy too?
No, sir.
No,
sir. I was a baseball guy back in my high school days, but
center fielder?
Yes, sir.
Really? Mm-hmm. Could you run down anything and everything?
Anything. I'm calling it all. They just got to cover the corners.
Why didn't they make you a wide receiver over here?
Man, I came in as a wide receiver. That's really how me and Dylan got so close. Yeah. My whole first summer, I was in wide receiver meetings and drills. Moving on to the end of the summer, they said they were going to try me out at cornerback, and ever since then, I haven't looked back.
Dylan, good to have you with us once again. Yes, how are you feeling about the new coaching staff? You got a former quarterback as your OC, and he's a young guy, so I guess maybe you can relate to him?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I mean, just to be able to connect with these guys now, I mean, them coming in the spring, we was able to grow a relationship very quick. I mean, and just having Coach Noah, my OC, even though he's young, I mean, we're able to connect with each other because he's kind of been where I've been. And, I mean, and last year, obviously, playing at Limestone. And so, I mean, we were able to our relationship was able to grow pretty quickly as he was able to relate with me.
So, last year for you, boy, what a year. Quarterback rating of 156. You passed for 2,424 yards. You completed 60%, 18 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. What happened on those interceptions?
just mistakes. I mean, they happen in the game, and then all you have to do really is just go back, watch the film, just get in the film room, and just try to understand what happened and analyze that play, and then next time do better.
Jarek, I'm going to ask you to move over a little bit so we can get you in the video here in case we're not getting you in the video, so I want to make sure I got you.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. And pull that microphone a little closer to you. So that's a heck of a season you had last year. What have you worked on in the offseason to, maybe take it to another level?
I mean, and just to go back to the basics, really just how Coach Garner said earlier, just take what they give you, not really try to be a hero on the field, just really try to manage the game. So, yeah.
What things have they worked with you technically, with the new coaching staff, what kind of things have they tried to apply? There's a lot of NFL influence on this coaching staff. Have they tried to apply a lot of that to you?
Just really the small things like footwork and reading defenses and maybe like gap schemes. I've learned a couple, really things I can use in the game each and every day, each and every week. So, just to soak up everything they talk about, even with life, not even outside of football. So, just really trying to understand where they've been, and also just trying to soak up everything they talk.
Jarek, how about defensively? Coach Clark has come in and new defensive coordinator, and again got some NFL influences over there. Your thoughts on what you guys are doing on the defensive side?
It's definitely going to be a little bit different this year. Last year, I can't lie, we were kind of focused on stopping the big play instead of making the big play, and so that's why you see a lot of our pass breakup numbers are really high, but we didn't get that many turnovers and stuff. So we're really hunting the ball this year. That's a lot of things that these guys have taught us. They've taught us how to put our bodies and our mind in the right spot so we can make the play instead of just preventing the big play,
So you're expecting yourself to have more picks this year?
Oh, yeah. You always want a step up. Last year I only had one. I dropped about 3.5, 4 of them. So, got to get a few more this year.
So do they, because of your speed, are you a cover guy and you can be out on the island and handle a guy in one-on-one situations?
Yes, sir. With my speed, it's real easy out there in the field to kind of bait the quarterback into trying to throw it past me, especially when they're not as good as old boy Dylan over here.
But have you gotten him in camp?
Oh, he's gotten me. I've gotten him. It's a battle out there every day, especially with someone like him. He's gotten a lot better in these last 4 years, and being able to compete with guys like him, and not only just him, but the receivers have gotten a lot better too. It's just iron sharpening iron every day.
Well, you got a former NFL receiver working with receivers, right?
Oh, yeah, and it shows.
What have you? Yeah, I was going to say, what have you learned from him as he's worked with the receivers?
They're really just working on stacking, getting your body in the right place to not only be able to shield the defender but make the catch. A lot of the times they're beating their guys on routes, but they're not finishing the play. And so a lot of this year in practice, I've seen a lot of finishing the plays and really working that second level of route running.
So, Dylan, you guys, you say bye-bye to the Gulf South.
Yeah.
You happy about that?
It's not really about being happy or sad about it because, each and every day we're just going to go out and compete. Either way, it doesn't matter what conference we're in. It doesn't matter if we're playing Alabama one week. We're still going to have that same mentality as we're going to get better each week, and we're going to go out there and play next play mentality and do our best. So,
would you trade Delta State for Alabama?
Oh yeah, for sure. It might be a rough game. We might be in the ice pass after that game, but we're going to play our tails off. I'll tell you that.
But you're going to play. Let's face it, the Conference Carolinas. It's not the Gulf South. It's a chance to be maybe. Not that you weren't competitive because you had your competitive moments, but a chance to go win a championship.
Yeah, that's always your goal each and every week, each and every day, really. You always want to win that championship. As little kids, we grow up wanting to play college football and win in the ring in college. So, that's always in the back of our minds each and every day while we're lifting, while we're out there running, conditioning, and practicing in the heat at 5 a.m. in the morning. So, just really you want to work to that goal each and every day. So,
Jarek, what's your thoughts on moving to this new league?
I just want to say thank you to the GSC. Every week they talk to us and they say the GSC is the SEC of the D2. You're going to go through it. You're going to lose games. We're going to beat each other up. But these are the best teams. These are Power 5 guys that are just, trying to find a home as well. But moving on to the next Conference Carolinas League, we just want to come and dominate. Like you said, we were competing in the last conference, but we want to come and dominate now. It's our time.
You kind of feel like they say the old saying, iron sharpens iron. So, you win against the best in the Gulf South. Not to take anything away from these guys, but it's a step down from that standpoint. Do you feel like your years in the Gulf South has hardened you guys to be ready for what's ahead for you in this new league?
Yes, sir, especially as our school wasn't really a Gulf South school. A lot of our sports were Conference Carolinas, and they kind of looked at us as Gulf South guys, and we're competing every week, and we might drop 2 or 3 losses in the conference. But now that we're in Conference Carolinas, I think we can compete a little bit more, and hopefully we can go get that ring.
Guys, first of all, you brought us the first solid connection we've had all night. So thank you. And good luck to you this coming season.
Yes, sir.
Hope you throw a lot more touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
And, hey, if you make it through the year with 4 more interceptions, that'll be just fine.
Yeah.
And go get some picks.
Yes, sir.
And main thing, stay healthy.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for coming over.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. You two guys, Dylan Ramirez and Jarek Foster from North Greenville. And we thank them. I think they got to go get involved with a little workout going on outside too. So a little walk-through action. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. After the break, we are going to jump into recruiting. Got an interview that we're going to have for you with Darius Gray. If you haven't heard it already on our YouTube, our website, we'll have that for you coming up, and a couple of other notes as we kind of exhale here for a moment, because I think we finally hit a rock-solid connection. I know that
you did great.
You, Bergie.
An entire segment.
You get less time when we're connected. I know. Maybe you're the one that's been pulling the plug on us. We'll be right back.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer, let's say I'm out in the woods or I'm on the water and I need to reach a DNR agent. How do I do that?
Operation Game Thief, Phil. It's been around 30-plus years. You can call us at our 24-hour hotline any time of day, 1-800-922-5431. To report wildlife violations or to get help if you're in trouble in the woods or on the water, call us at Operation Game Thief, 1-800-922-5431.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, recruiting report here on Sports Talk brought to you by Seawells. We'll talk about them in a moment. I want to get to the interview with Darius Gray that I did last night so that we don't run out of time. He's going to be announcing on Friday night around 7 o'clock. Let's listen into our conversation.
Well, first, thank you for your time, but I'm very excited. It's been an honor and a blessing to be in this position, so I'm excited to, finally call school home and, shut down the recruitment. So,
as we talk tonight, do you know who it's going to be?
No, sir. Not as of right now, but soon I'll definitely have that answer.
How close would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 towards that decision?
I'll say I'm pretty close. I don't think I'm too much far off at all, but schools have definitely cleared up for me, and, I'm just excited now for the opportunity.
As you think about things this week, what will be some of the things that you will ponder about the schools, maybe checking off boxes here and there? What are some of those things you'll be looking at?
Yeah, I think, the most important thing, of course, is family atmosphere, for one. But, God is definitely going to tell me, where school, best fit for me. And, I'll just listen to his word, and that'll be the place. Absolutely.
Talking with Darius Gray, and you've got South Carolina and Clemson, 2 of our schools here in South Carolina, on your final list. It seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but much of the talk the national recruiting analysts, they seem to be more focused on South Carolina with you than Clemson. Would that be a correct assessment at this point?
Yes, sir. That's why I see a lot. That's why I see a lot.
Are they right?
I would say they're up there. Clemson is definitely still in the picture, but I would kind of say it's kind of a tie for all of them.
Yeah. You feel like
Yes,
they're
sir.
all still pretty tight with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt.
So what was this? Give us an idea recruiting wise for you, like what today was like phone call wise, who you talked to today and kind of what you're hearing from the coaches here at this last moment, because they all know the decision is coming on Friday.
Yeah, I'll definitely say, schools are making their final pitch, all five, to be honest. And, honestly, it's just, kind of comes down to me. I think, all five schools have done a great job of putting out there what, they do best. And now it's kind of just up to me to, saying yes to one of them. So,
Yeah. What does the final pitch sound like from the coaches?
yeah, I mean, it definitely varies from each school. LSU is a great one. Location is very far, so their pitch is just making sure I'm comfortable being far away from home and things like that. Like Clemson, you don't have to sacrifice anything. They kind of have everything, and Coach Sweeney has done a great job of making that program, player first. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing for it all. Ohio State, winners, they win. It's hard. It's competition. It develops you for the NFL, all those things. South Carolina has their own, be different, come join something that's growing. And, Coach Beamer is doing a great job of, everything that he's done so far. And, last year we're going to look back and be like, that was one of his worst years. And, that's kind of, what you see in a coach like Coach Beamer. So every school kind of has their different pitch, and, it's all up to me now.
Have you told them, guys, at a certain point this week, I'd like to cut it off just so I can get away and think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would say, honestly, for the past, week or two, they kind of just listening to myself, kind of going with what I feel is best. And, that kind of helped me, figure out and clear up the air on some schools and really have me, feel better about what school I want to call home.
So your thing is on Friday night. You're doing it over CBSSports.com. I think it's 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to carry that live on our show, too, in South Carolina. Perfect. When that rolls around. So what is your plan on getting to that decision? Like, do you want to have it made before you sit down on Friday night? Will you notify coaches in advance? And then how will you make your announcement? Will you do the hats or will you do the T-shirts? What's your plan?
Yeah, so it will definitely, something that I haven't thought of too much yet, just because of ball and everything like that. But, I'm kind of more of a simple guy, so it'll just be hats or something like that. And, I definitely plan on, making a few calls, that Thursday night, Friday morning, things like that, But, once I have that answer, I want to let that school know that, I'm coming.
Once you know, you're going to let that school know right away. You're going to ask them to keep it under wraps?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
What do you have planned for your announcement celebration?
Nothing, honestly. Friday night we got, practice right before, so just go shower, get ready and make my announcement and, probably go dinner with my family or something like that. And that'll be it. Come home, go to sleep and wake up and get back to the grind. So that's my life.
Yeah, I understand. When you make this commitment, will that be it? You'll be finished with recruiting? There'll be no second thoughts, no visits to any other schools, any of that stuff?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. That's kind of what me and my family are huge on is loyalty and commitment. And, as a grown man, as a man, you say something, you want to be behind that. So that's very important to me and my family. And, once we make that commitment, we're going to go ahead and shut it down and be safe for where we are.
How do you feel about being where you are in terms of all the recruiting, all the offers, how you are considered as a player nationally at your position? Did this, where you are, did that surprise you that you reached this point, or did you kind of know you would get here one day?
That's tough. I would definitely say, my goal wasn't to ever be, a college football player, to be honest. It was straight to the NFL. Like, I want to be in the NFL. I want to be in the NFL. And as I got closer to high school, I was like, wait a minute, you got to go to college first or, something like that. So it kind of shifted my mindset a little bit. But it's been an honor. I mean, I've been, growing up looking at, high school stars and things like that. And, one day I just wanted to be, on that top of the list. And it's been an honor, honestly, and everybody else that's a part of it, it's a lot of respect to their game and the work that they put in. And, I know I'm just nowhere near close to the surface. So, I just got to keep grinding, staying focused, staying humble, following the Lord's word. And, he'll let me, be wherever he wants me to be.
Are you sleeping well these nights, or is this decision keeping you up?
Yeah. I think I'm sleeping pretty fine, pretty normal, to be honest. I know it's a stressful thing for a lot of guys and things like that, and I can see why it's stressful. But I want to stick to the Lord's word. Give all your anxious and your stress to Him, and that's kind of my way of being able to sleep just as normal as I would any other day, any other week. So. It's been great for me. Me and my family, we've done a great job of letting that not, become my personality. Kind of not talk about it unless is a very important, decision coming up, which is Friday. So I know it might be tough Thursday night, but as of right now on a Sunday, I'm sleeping pretty well.
And who is the go-to person or go-to people in your family or in your group there that you are going to for advice with this particular decision?
Yeah, so I've been, very blessed, but I'm also, kind of the first one. So it's new for all of us. So, I've been, my mom, my dad, my brother, it's kind of been a tight circle, and we just, hearing advice from different things. But, we're keeping it in the tight circle and just making sure that whatever best fits for all of us, that's kind of what we want. And that's kind of how we're going to keep moving things forward.
Well, we thank you very much for the time. It's been great talking to you through the process. Good luck this week.
Thank
you. Everybody should kind of leave you alone and let you make this decision, and then you'll let everybody know on Friday night, won't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
7 o'clock, and we'll carry it here on Sports Talk as well. Darius, thank you so much, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much for your time.
And he wants to major in broadcasting communications wherever he decides to go. We'll cover that for you on Friday night. Recruiting brought to you by Seawells. Get by over to Seawells tomorrow. Daily Luncheon Buffet back in action from 11 to 2, 1125 Rosewood Drive. And for the best in catering at Seawells, 803-771-7385. Online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. Thanks here to Robbie Gowris for his help in helping us get through what was kind of a up and down ride here. But you know what? What we got to you was good stuff. And you got to hear more Bergie, which makes some people happy.
That was not good stuff. And I'm already concerned about Darius Gray getting into the broadcast industry. He's going to zoom up, take our jobs quickly. Very well-spoken young man.
I told him if he ends up in South Carolina, tell him you want to come work for the Corn.
Exactly.
Here at Sports Talk. I'm sure that would go over really well. Okay, we'll see you from Anderson tomorrow night. Thank you, Plummer, and thank you, Bergie.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer Sizzle starts with